So hello there, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Our deadlines are fast approaching, so let us get a move on it. Normally I stream these parts, but since we're in the middle of a heat wave at the moment, I'm going to space these out, just in case I need to take breaks in between. Which I have been doing for some other episodes that I have recorded today. Some job quest stuff. Let's head back down to the Aetherite Plaza and continue speaking with Kupo. I guess I can scrunch this back down if I'm not going to be in dungeons. Let's see if I can get the Postmoogle stuff done, and then I'm going to move on to MSQ. I'm going to get, I've gotten the job stuff done. I've gotten Binding the Coils of Bahamut done. I'm going to finish the Moogle quest, and then I'm going to work on MSQ, and given the time that I have remaining, I'm probably not going to get into the relic weapons until after my hiatus, because I don't know where I'm going to squeeze them in. There's a lot more MSQ left than I thought, so we're going to do our best, which is all we can do, Kupo. Thanks for your support. This is the fishing one.
Well met again! Since you've been such an obedient assistant, I've got a reward for you. No drunkards and ruffians to contend with this time, just rest and relaxation. Tell me, what comes to mind when you think of Linsum Lominsa? After pirates, wharf rats, and watered-down grog, that is. Fish, Kupo! And there's nobody fishier, and I mean that in the nicest sense of the word, than Wawalogo, the master of the Fisherman's Guild. Wawalogo's been pitting his wits against the slipperiest of fish in the 5 seas for longer than anyone can remember. Why, he's not unlike a fish himself, drifting along the stream of life without a care in the world. So I thought it'd be nice if you went down and got to know him. Lay down your weapons, put aside your worries, and take it easy for once. Oh, and while you're at it, you can take along this letter. I mean, you're going there either way, right? It's like catching 2 fish with 1 lure.
Alright, that shouldn't be too bad. He's right here anyways. Wait, no, this way. Won't let me jump across. Even though you can swim. Well, if it isn't my firm friend, Bren. The lofty one who landed that monstrous marlin. Come to cast away your cares with a little leisurely angling. What's that? A message marked for me, you say? A missive from my old mate in Rowojaru. He's a trinket trader from Ul'dah, who supplies a certain something that supports and strengthens seafood stocks. Since we've set some of his special supporters on a seabed, Fisherman's Bottom's been swimming with shrimp and groaning with gobbies. I've heard neither hide nor hair from him since the calamity hit. It's heartening indeed to know that he's hale and healthy. And it seems the old dog's still desperate to deals. Says he wants to trade one of his treasures for an infrequently found fish. Business must be bad if he's bartering his best brass for bass. Any road, perhaps you could do me a favor while I'm ready my rod. Rowojaru's boat should be berthed down by the docks. Could you head over and hand him this note? I've marked out a map of where the fish he fancies can be found. Tell him to meet me there, and we'll do the deal. Okay, that's down at the marketplace. Now I can do it from the Arcanist Guild faster, I think.
Good gods, may the sea be so damned wavy, my stomach's churning, my legs are like jelly. And don't get me started on my poor old back. Thou knows I'm going to haul this blasted crate all the way to the Fisherman's Guild. Oh, you've got a letter for me?
They make some weird glasses now for card sickness. It'd probably work for seasickness too. They're filled with fluid like halfway through the rims. They're sort of like round looking things, but they have fluid in them. And there's some on the sides as well. And the fluid moves as you turn your head, which I guess really helps with car sickness. Well, I'll be. Wawalogo's agreed to my offer. I knew he wouldn't let me down. I could feel it in my bones. Looks like my luck's finally turned. But this time next year, I'll be a gillionaire. Oh, but look at me getting all carried away. And I haven't even introduced myself. Robojaru, purveyor of the finest silks, the most exotic perfumes, and the rarest curiosities in all of Ul'dah. At least I was, until the calamity took all that away from me. My whole warehouse went up in smoke, and my fortune with it. I tried everything to get my foot back in the ladder, but I was cheated at every turn. Lumbered with dodgy gil, and ended up getting deeper and deeper into debt. Now all I've got left are the clothes on my aching back and this rotten box. I was just about to declare myself bankrupt, but then I got wind of a tasty tidbit of gossip that set my business brain in motion. There's this fellow in Ul'dah, you see, a real grandee. I knew him back when I was someone who knew people. Turns out he's got a thing for exotic fish, and he'll pay through the snout for anything suitably rare. That's when I thought about Waulalogo. He's the greatest fisherman in Limsa, and an old friend to boot. Plus, he's the only one who appreciates the value of the thing I have in my box. I haven't the gil or the skill to bag the kind of fish I need without him. Nor do I have the legs or the back to lug this chest all the way to Candlekeep Quay. But say, you're someone sort of a delivery man, right? Could you help the feller out? I can't pay you anything now, but I'll remember you when I'm rolling it in. Okay, now where is Candlekeep Quay? Oh my god. It's at the Morby dry docks. I'm lugging this a ways, huh? But yeah, because the fluid moves with the movements of your head, I guess it really helps to calm your brain down from normal seasickness. Hopefully hauled Robojaru's goods down the high road, did you? Just drop it down at the ground for now. He's got his hands full holding his own with the fishes. I thought you weren't the one going to fish. Thank Thal you're finally here, and you've brought the chest. Thanks a million. You're a lifesaver. Now we've got the goods, I can finally be free of this backbreaking labor. Thanks awfully for carrying the chest for me. Don't know what I'd have done without you. Actually, I do. When I turned up empty-handed, Waulalogo forced me to start fishing myself. If you're short of something to swap, you'll snare a scaly specimen solo, he said. Let's have a look at the gift you got me. Blinking barnacles, it's beautiful. See it shine and shimmer like the silvery scales of sea serpent. The fish will flock to bask at the brilliance of this natty knick-knack like this. I knew it. The pawnbrokers wouldn't trade it for toffee. But to a master fisherman, my supporter's worth more than anything money can buy. So do we have a deal? Can I put you down the rod now? Is it a fishing rod or a lure? Or both? Fine, fine. I'll fetch your fish for you. The rarest rare fiend, Ray, and the Rotano. Subject you to shoring up the shorefall and the settlement with the little light labor that is. Catch me a carp, or a calais, or any form of fish you can find, and I'll honor your order. The shortfall? You mean the supporter's not enough? Then I'm ruined. I was sitting here for ages, and I didn't even get to nibble. There's no fish to be found in this accursed ocean. I dare to differ, friend. There's shoals and shoals of scaly swimmers in the sea around you. Your foray into fishing floundered because there's nothing but numbers in that noggin of yours. Clear your conscience of all these money-making machinations, and mellow your mind. Then the buggers will bite. But we can't dally here all day. There's duties that need doing down at the guild, so I'll lay down a little information. Our dear delivery person will catch me a catch of their very own. So you've not netted a solitary specimen by the time they're tackling this task that deals as dead as a deviled dodo. So if I don't catch a fish before they do, I go home with nothing. Then it's all over. God's good, I'll be beggared. The banks won't touch me with a barge pole. There you go, worrying over wealth again. If you're duly determined to procure this prize perch of yours, then ready your rod, banish that brooding from your brain, and focus on the fun of fishing. Do you need one of my lures, man? Friend, if you would be so obliging, I'd like you to acquire me an anchovy. That's it? A local Minson will fill the bill. They're common on the coast, so it shouldn't be a struggle to secure. Snatch one straight from the sea or procure it from a purveyor. It's up to you. He literally just said you can buy it off the market board if you want. What in the good... Alright. What's a basic? I think I threw out a lot of my really basic baits. Lugworm. It'll probably take to a lugworm. Whee! Alright. Kupo. Gone fishing, Kupo. That wasn't too bad. When you've acquired your anchovy, bring it here to me. It's up to you how to harvest it, whisk one from the waves with your willowy wand, or meet with a monger and pick one up for peanuts. Whatever buoys your boat. 'Tis time, Robojaru. Our dutiful delivery has completed their commission, and you still haven't snaggled a single sprat. I'm sorry, but the deal is dead. No, then I've lost everything. My fortune, my future. I might as well lie down here and die like a dog. Really, Robojaru, what have you actually lost? Dwell not on money and misery, but rather widen your eyes to the wonders of the world, like just now when you were focused on nothing but the fish. How did it feel? It was wonderful. For a minute there, I really felt like I was one with the ocean. All my material worries just washed away, but a fat load of good it did me. I didn't catch a bleeding thing. Ah, your financial frettings might be mildly misplaced, but you've been a trader for too long to fully free your feelings from the constant contemplation of coin. That's why the fish didn't bite. But still, if you drew some sense of satisfaction from it, I suppose that's a start. Reminds me of that one meme of, like, dude fishes all day and then gets to take a nap at the end, and somebody comes up to him and says something along the lines of, oh, if you made a business out of this, then you could earn a ton of money by fishing and then retire and be able to do nothing all day. And the fisherman at the end of his day looks at him and goes, what do you think I'm doing now? Like, you don't understand. The thing I want is peace, and I'm willing to make a pittance in order to do that. If you had lots of money, you could buy all the potatoes you want. But I only eat so many potatoes, so I'm fine with growing my own. Holy mackerel. Holy catfish. That isn't a saltwater catfish, is it? I thought they were extinct. Oh, if only my client could see this. I'd get a sultan's ransom for it. If it's nearly extinct, put it back. Ah, sure as the sun. That's a saltwater catfish. There's some as say the species snuffed it in the calamity. But I'd heard word that they were hiding in Candlekeep Key. Seems the rumors were right. Take it, Robojaru. Consider it a prize for your persistence. Do with it what you will. Can we keep it alive in the process? Can I get, like, a bucket? Wait, Wabalogo, what about the payment? Aren't you going to take my supporter? The shiny shorts? The fish go crazy for? The star-spangled subligar? Star-spangled underwear, you say? Right in time for the season, I guess. Oh, those. I've got hundreds of them at home. Just remember, Robojaru, don't drag yourself down, brooding over business. Free your mind from fretting over your fortune and your future, and try to think like a fish. Sometimes man don't need fortune. Sometimes man just need time to fish and time to barbecue. But if that still don't solve your sorrows, never forget that you'll always find friends at the Fisherman's Guild. However hard things seem, however low you go. When you think like a fish, your distress and disquiet just drift away on the tide. He says clear your head. Was Wawalogo planning to give me the fish all along? Gods, the man's a bleeding marvel. I don't deserve a friend like him. You know, it's a tough life being a trader. You can't think like a fish when you're swimming with sharks, or you'll get gobbled up. Closes your mind to anything but coin, it does. But whenever I deal with Wawalogo, I feel liberated, like a great burden's been lifted from my heart. If I could only live as he does. I've had my fill of dealings with crooks and swindlers. spending every waking moment obsessing over my bank balance and agonizing over who's going to steal it from me. It's time I made a change. Robojar returned the saltwater catfish to the ocean. Thank you! I'll throw it all away and start again from scratch at the Fisherman's Guild. Here, I hereby entrust to you the entirety of the great Robojar's estate, the brilliant briefs no fish can resist. Wabalogo says the fish take energy from its shining scales and copy after them, helps them grow big and strong and happy. I never knew it before, but it's the same with people. If I'm to learn to live like a fish and set myself free, I need no supporter but Wabalogo. Oh my god. It actually raises crafting and perception. Can I even wear it? Is that possible, or is it male only? It doesn't say it's male only. It used to be the other Subligars were. Carrier level 19 and Tidy Whitey's obtained. With your successful delivery, your reputation as a letter carrier has grown. I honestly expected them to also be blue and red, or at least have some red in there. Because the Japanese flag is red and white. But still, that's funny. Okay. Let's go back to Kupo. Oops. That's a big Mandwagawa. And there might be other unlock requirements for some of these, I'm not sure. If I've never met the people before. Like if I hadn't done the Fisherman quest, I don't know if that would have been available. Hostages to Fortune.
Bren, the very vassal I was looking for, Kupo. I need you to take a letter to Eugenia's Spire in the North Shroud, the wood where your dear leader, that's me, was born and raised. It needs to be delivered to Mia Mulcott, leader of the White Rams. Officially, they're an offshoot of the God's Quiver, but in practice, they're Miss Mulcott's private army. The Ix will call her the Black Cat. Wherever she crosses their path, they're sure to meet with an unfortunate end, Kupo. Truth be told, this isn't the first time we've tried to deliver this letter. I entrusted it to another subordinate of mine, a delivery Moogle on the very first mission, but he got chased away by the birdmen, and fluttered back, hiding his face under his pom-pom. He simply wasn't cut out for such a trying task, but who is, I thought? Who best to dispatch into Ixel-infested forest and explain the letter's lateness to the fiery-tempered Miss Mulcott? Guess whose name sprang to mind? Here's the letter, Bren! Off you pop, Kupo! Take the heat for me!
And not all of these might be related to something. Some of them might be more new. You seek Mia Mulcott. I am she, instructor of the God's Quiver, commander of the White Rams, and bane of any feathered fiend who dares poke his beak in the Twelveswood. I know you. We've spoken before, have we not? I trust you've bagged a few birdies under your own since we last met. Bren, is it? What business do you have here with Meow? Apologies, a slip of the tongue. When I say with Meow, I mean with Meow. Not Meow. Meow. What do you want? Let me see that. Oh, how wonderful. It's a letter from Lady Philota. The woman is like a mother to me, you see. I lost my parents when I was young, and it was she who raised me from a mewling babe. Her son was a great hero, a leader of the White Rams before me, but he too was lost in the line of duty. But let's see what news she has. She says she is to visit Fallguard Float with her dear grandson. But by the date she gives, she should be here at this very moment. It's strange that I've had no word of their arrival. Perhaps she simply misread her calendar. After all, she speaks of the future, but these dates are past. Tell me, adventurer, when was the letter posted? It arrived very late. Oh, damn those incompetent Moogles. Never trust anything with wings, I say. Then these dates must be true. They should already be here. I smell the filthy hands of those blasted birdies to this. We must send out a search party. If they came via Gridania, might they have been ambushed in Treespeak? A band of Ixal raids the area, but they're usually too chicken-hearted to approach the paths. I've had a sentry there watching their movements. Go to him, and ask if he has seen anything. Oh, and if you should happen to meet with any of the wee birdies, none shall weep if you snap their scrawny necks. This is why mail gets delivered on time, Kupo. You're not who I'm looking for, I don't think.
Wounded featherless ones you seek, find them my axe will.
Hold right there, you squawking scum.
Good Garuda, me a Mulcot you are, black cat of the white rams, my life you will spare, yes?
You'll get no mercy from me. I'll rip off your beak and wear it as a hat. Remember our motto, soldiers, all Ixal must die. Hold on a moment, man. Before I was set up, I was watching this group of Ixal for some time. They seem to be patrolling this area. Perhaps he knows something of what befell Lady Philota and her grandson. Alright, I'll bite. Listen up, you beaky bastard. Answer me truly, and I'll grant you a painless death. Have you seen a lady and a young boy pass through this area?
Searching for white-haired elder and girly-voiced hatchling featherless ones are. See them I have. Attacked by nasty beastie their caravan was. Ran from beastie they did, all frighty and shaking.
You lie. The only beasties around here that would think of raiding a caravan are you and your craven kind.
No, no, black cat, only the truth I am telling. Worth more than mine these featherless ones' lives are. Then maybe a deal we are making. My life you spare, your featherless friend I catch. Release them to you we will, scratchless and sound. A deal we have.
Catch them, and then hold them as hostages, no doubt. I say we kill the featherless fool right now and teach these Ixal a lesson, right? I don't necessarily agree to this. There must be some good in him. Let's agree to the deal. I work with the beast tribes. I can't be an ambassador and be a bastard about it. There's no good in birdmen. Just blood and bile. Believe me, I've checked. But mayhap you're right. We have little to lose by releasing this wetch, and possibly much to gain. All right, Beaky. If you truly swear that you will return our friends to us unharmed, we will agree to your deal.
Spared I am by Mulcot the Merciless. Believe it, I cannot. Well known to our kind your cruelty is, and yet walk free I do? Then on my honor, my word you have. With my headwing I shall speak. Your smooth and wrinkly friends together we will catch. Send word we will. Come to the river bend northwest of here, and your friends we shall return.
How would I despise listening to their featherbrain prattle. The fool knows nothing except how to delay his death with false promises. Still, I would have you follow him to this headwing, just to be sure. We shall return to the spire to see if other parties have met with more success. It's not even that far away.
Come to play the black cat's dog has. For his life the snivelling wretch begged. No true Ixal that one is. By my own talons punished he shall be. His craven promises never will we honor. But to what I say now listen well, featherless one. Our hostages, your friends are. The old one and the young. See them again, would you?
Then do my bidding you shall. Within your borders we search, unharmed and unhindered. You will leave us. When done we are, and only then the hostages we shall release. We lie, you think? Then the truth we prove. Set free the wrinkled one will be. Across the river you will find her, on the cliffs over Fallgard float. A lasting truce with you we seek not. Pains me it does, to show mercy to the halted Molcot, but our reasons we have, and our promises we will honor, if the Black Cat will do the same. Well, I guess the guy I spared is most likely dead. Good eve to you, adventurer. My name is Philota. Would you happen to be the young one sent by Mia Molcot? Then thank you from the bottom of my heart. I was traveling with my young grandson from Gridania, but as we made our way through Treespeak, we were set upon by an angered treant, and our carriage was overturned. My grandson and I managed to escape, but we were separated from our guard. We fled into the forest seeking shelter, but only found a nest of Ixal. They captured us and bound our hands with twine. I'm trying to put chapstick on while reading. I feared we were to be offered to their god. Imagine my relief when I overheard them speaking of not as sacrifices, but of hostages. And then without a word of warning I was released. They marched me here, removed my blindfold, and bade me wait for Mia's envoy to collect me. I thank you, adventurer. But my grandson, is he still in the birdman's clutches? We must send word to Mia right away. I pray you, adventurer, return to Mia and relate to her all that I have told you. If anyone can save my grandson, it is she. Please do not worry about me. I can make my way to Fallgard float from here. The guards there will protect me. Yes, because you did such a great job, you know? Already. Thankfully it's right there, but damn, girl. Lady Philota is safe? Thank the gods. But what of your grandson? Was he released too? What? They plan to hold the boy hostage to keep my claws from their craven necks. Their skullduggery knows no bounds. They say they will release the child when they have found something? I spit on their lies. They seek nothing but our land, and would use the boy as a shield to obscure their trespass. Nofika as my witness, they shall gain nothing but their deaths. The birdies have picked the wrong prey this time. The boy is the only child of Lady Philota's lay son. Once the leader of the White Rams, we are honor-bound to free him from their filthy claws. They'll rue the day they ever thought of laying their hands on one of ours. You can tell Lady Philota that Mia Molcot will not rest until her grandson is safely returned, and the rills run red with birdman blood. Go to the bobbing cork, and let her know just that. Do you mean the hills? You know, if I actually relay that message, they'll probably just kill him. Mia plans to rescue my grandson herself. That is the best news I could hope to hear. I cannot thank you enough for your assistance in this matter, young one. I have known Mia since she was but a mewling babe, and believe me when I say that I have full confidence she can devote every energy to rescuing my grandson. If anyone can rescue him from those brutes, Mia can. Near 20 years have passed since the day we first met, back when my son was still the leader of the White Rams. Before he was taken from us, a report came in that a settlement under the Ixal attacked, and he raced to its defense. By the time he and his men arrived, the Ixal had already captured the village. My son refused to abandon it in their clutches, and led a daring attempt to rescue the villagers. He finally succeeded in expelling the invaders, but their deadly work was done. Only one child emerged alive from the ruins, Mia. My son took the orphaned girl under his wing and taught her bowmanship. She came to idolize him as a master, and perhaps a father. But now she is twice orphaned, and the Ixal hold her master's only son a hostage. I can well understand her fury. But this anger of hers, I fear it may cloud her judgment in this case, and drive her to recklessness. I pray you, return to her, and urge her not to be too rash in her plans. I could not live with myself or my grandson's safety to be brought with friendly blood. I can't read. Also, my voice is starting to go. I'm doing a lot of these videos super duper condensed because I'm running out of time, but as a result, my voice is starting to get very shot doing this every day. Lady Philota said that? Even with her grandson held captive by the Birdmen, she worries for the safety of our soldiers? Truly, the lady's consideration knows no bounds. But I fear the time for restraint is past. It sickens me to sit by while the Birdmen prowl our forests, using one of our own as a shield. Their band has just been sighted from the very spire and moving northwards. Do you realize what this means? The disassembling birdies return to their logging grounds with Lady Philota's grandson in tow. So much for their honor and honesty. We must pounce now, before they escape through Proud Creek and... Hold on a moment. I have word from my scouts. Yes, you have them in your sights. Then on my order, unleash... What? They sent a messenger? They said they found what we're looking for and will release the hostage immediately? Understood. Over and out. Did you hear that? The Birdmen say they've released the boy, but in Proud Creek of all places. Why, he would almost be safer in their evil clutches. You must go there straight away and find the child before something wickeder does. What were they looking for? Did one of their own children? Dude. Dude, he's right here. Are you a friend of Miss Mulcott's? Thank you so much for coming to rescue me. Oh yes, I'm quite alright. They didn't hurt me. Only my pride. It was such a fool, stumbling straight into the Ixal camp. I'm sorry for causing everyone to go to such trouble to rescue me. Mia wouldn't have let herself get caught so easily, nor would my father. I'm just thankful the Ixal were true to their word. I overheard some of what they were discussing. It seems they were searching for a hatchling of theirs, the young of a chieftain who had disappeared from this nest. They had followed his trail to Treespeak. They were readying forces to launch an invasion to recover the child, knowing it would lead to an all-out war with Gridania. But then they somehow learned of mine and Grandma's arrival and resolved to kidnap us instead, to secure the truce that would allow a rescue party to search unhindered. But there's something I don't understand. When the leader of the Ixal cut my bonds, he whispered something strange to me. His promise your father kept, and so the same I shall do. And then they're gone. Young master, how good it is to find you safe. Is aught amiss? The Ixal are on the search for a hatchling, so they were not raiders, but rescuers. We must report these developments to the Commander Mulcott immediately. Let us rendezvous back at Eugenia's Spire. Come now, child, follow me. So maybe the dad made a deal with the Ixal in the past? Maybe they can tell who the son is by scent? Please, you have to stop her. The commander means to hurry the Ixal retreat and strike them all down. And you would stop me? Have you forgotten our motto? All Ixal must die. I know, but please, ma'am, I beg you to reconsider. This is not an invasion, it was a rescue mission. They're searching for a lost hatchling. And after all, they did keep their promise. They released the boy. Surely it is only right that we should honor our side of the agreement and allow them to leave. What agreement? Those were their conditions, and they only had the nerve to give them because they were holding the poor boy hostage. They invade our lands, steal our children, and you would show them mercy? The only peace they'll get from me is that of the grave. Please, you must help me. Go to the Bobbing Cork and bring back Lady Philota. She's the only one Commander Mulcott will listen to. There's something that bothers me about all this. It's what that Ixali chieftain said. Something of promises kept in years past. If anyone knows what he meant by it, Lady Philota will. I'll never forget those words, but my father was the leader of the White Rams, the sworn enemy of the Ixal. What promise could he possibly have made? What was it again? His promise your father kept, and so the same I shall do. Surely we cannot proceed with an attack without knowing what he meant. Grandma, come get your kid. Bye, grandson is safe? Thank you, adventurer. 1,000 times thank you. How can I possibly repay you for all you have done for my family? You can prevent a war. Come with me. Get on the bird. I see. It appears the situation is more complicated than we first thought. The Ixal that took us with the rescue team, and now Mia plans to attack them in the retreat, and the hatchling with them. Only I can stop her. Yep, otherwise sums it up. Perhaps I can, for I indeed have some knowledge of this promise the Ixal spoke of. How strange that their fates seem to have brought them together again like this. The elementals work in mysterious ways. Very well, I will talk to Mia. Would it be too much to ask you to do me a further kindness? Run ahead to Eugenia's spire, and delay her from taking any drastic action. I will join you as soon as I can. Just get on the chocobo. The path is steep, but I am afraid I'm not as young as I once was. Alright, you're the last of them. Join up with the forward squadron and begin the attack. The poor wee birdies won't know what hit them. What is it, adventurer? Don't tell me you object to my attack as well. And so do I, Mia. Grandma! Niddy-Falota, what are you doing here? You have been through so much at the claws of the Birdmen. You need to rest. As do you, Mia. There is a story you must needs hear. A story begun long ago, but not yet concluded. A story? What story? A tale from long ago, when my son led the White Rams as you do now. A time when we found ourselves caught at the same snare as the Ixal did this day, as if reflected in a glass. There was a young girl trapped behind Ixali lines. The White Rams put together a rescue team to save her, and prepared to strike at the heart of the enemy. The Ixal were surrounded, but their defenses were strong. All hope seemed lost. Until, quite by chance, a separate raid led to the capture of several Ixali hatchlings, abandoned in their nests, so both sides came to hold younglings as hostages. Threat was answered with counter-threat, and both sides prepared for a bloody resolution. Until my son reached out to the Ixal, he offered them a truce and a promise. He would return their hatchlings if the Ixal would withdraw and spare the child. Tell me, dear, what was it the Ixali chieftain said to you? That your father kept his promise? And so he would keep his in return? He was probably one of the hatchlings. It can only be the will of the elementals that brought such fate to pass. There can be no doubt. That chieftain was one of the Ixali hatchlings my son released that day. It was my son's promise that lifted the siege on the village and saved the child, a young Mihote girl with an ink-black coat and shining eyes. My master brought my life with his. After 20 long years, the threads of destiny that entwined on that fateful day have brought you together once more. Whether you sever ties now or tie them stronger, only your heart can decide. To be bound to an Ixal or to cut myself free. All right, soldiers. Call off the attack. Send word to the vanguard that to escort the Ixal off our lands, but under no circumstances are the birdmen to be fired upon. Anyone foolish enough to disobey will answer to me. But Commander, what about our model? All Ixal must die. Oh, they'll die all right. The minute they step away from their filthy feet back into the 12's wood, I'll snap their twiggy wee necks and lap up their blood. Every clucking last one of them. Ma'am, yes ma'am. I did so want to push my claws into their bloody little eyes, but it's not for me to put an end to what my master began. Bren, you came to me with a letter, but in the end you brought me something far more important. True compassion. The legacy of my master that I was far too quick to forget. There is only one thing I can say. Thank Meow. Get some pineapple juice, omelet, cheesecake, or gratin. I'll just go with the money, because I really need money. seeing as I might need close to 1 million gil for future relic quests, but in the event that I can't get these done fast enough, I will end up doing those post-hiatus. With your successful delivery, your reputation as a letter carrier has grown. That means time to go back to Limsa. The white rams hunt the Ixal. We live to spring on the little birds and snap their wee necks. If those whose lives I once spared even think of setting foot in the 12's again, then they'll answer to meow. Answer to meow. To meow. Oh, right. I'll kill them, all right. Guess she has a little bit of a speech impediment. There should be a new batch of quests. The Kirin always pays his debts.
Oh, Bryn. My unfortunate assistant, I'm afraid that something rather awkward has come up, and I'm going to have to drop it right in your lap, Kupo. It's an urgent epistle from Bango Zango, Vice Chair of the Brugair Consortium. And to Bango Zango it must be returned. It was to be delivered to one Jijiroon, a Kirin who runs a trading post with the shores of Bronze Lake. When I got there, the slippery devil was nowhere to be found. To make matters worse, he neglected to leave a forwarding address, Kupo. I was going to break the news to Master Zango myself, but who am I to deny an up-and-coming delivery aura such valuable experience? It's not often our service fails in its duties, so you have to be at your sycophantic best if he is to accept your apology. You'll find Mr. Zango just around the corner in the Octant. Good luck. The reputation of the Moogle delivery service rests upon your shoulders, Kupo.
Yes, I'm Bango Zango, second chair of the Brugair Consortium. And who are you, pray tell? If you have business with me, you'll need to make an appointment with my... What? My letter's been returned to sender. Not known at this address? God damn it. I never should have treated that double-dealing Kirin. The minute I threatened to call his debts, the blasted rat does a moonlight flight. Forgive my outburst. It's Jijiroon I'm angry with, not you. He borrows a sizable sum from the consortium, but he's fallen behind in his repayments. This letter was to be our final demand. Sad to say, it seems the wretch has taken all the money and ran. It's a sorry state for a once shrewd trader to find himself in. He was the first to set up a trading post in Upper Lenotia after the calamity, straddling the fence between everyone from the kobolds to the maelstrom, and raking in a pretty pack from all sides. He ran it with his brother, Mimiroon. But they had a falling out some years back, a disagreement about the direction of the business, or so they say. Whatever the reason, it led to Mimiroon striking out on his own, and sending out his own little trading post in the Oakwood. They've been rivals ever since. Perhaps this is just where the rot set in. Mimiroon's fortunes have gone from strength to strength, but Jijiroon, well, only thing he's gained from the past few years is an ever-increasing mountain of debt. I had every confidence he would turn it around, but it seems my faith was misplaced. And what faith it was! Were he to default on his loan, I would have serious implications for the consortium's finances. I need you to do me a favor, adventurer. Return to Upper Lenotia and collar this rat for me. Maybe his brother has some idea where he's scurried off to. Yeah, I think they're on, like, opposite banks for the trading post. Yeah, no wonder one makes more money. He sells stuff for 100,000 gil. The relic weapons are so expensive. Honestly, I don't know why I come across like this. It'd be faster to go to the outer Lenotia and then come down, but... eh. Welcome, customer. Customer, welcome at the shop. Mimiroon shops. Mimiroon brother causing bother? Run away with shiny shinies. Mimiroon No know where Jijiroon go. Memoryroon and Jijiroon always fight, never talk. Memoryroon keep to Memoryroon side and keep away from Jijiroon's side. Memoryroon worked for a long time at Jijiroon shop, long time ago. Memoryroon spot, good spot for new shop, but Jijiroon say he wants to stay put in Jijiroon shop spot. Move here, Memoryroon say, but Jijiroon no want to hear, and no want to move. Quarrelsome Jijiroon quarrel with Memoryroon. Go away, he says. So away Memoryroon go. There's a leaf pile. Memoryroon moved to new place and set up new startup. Never ever talking again with Jijiroon ever since. Everyone cross with Jijiroon. Everyone think Jijiroon cross everyone. Jijiroon need help and helpful Memoryroon help. Look in Jijiroon shop. Jijiroon leave shop, but maybe he leave hints as to hint where Jijiroon go. Alright, back across. Let's just take the boat. I keep forgetting this is a thing. What's your business here? Bango Zango sent you to look for a missing trader? Same here. Seems the consortium ain't take no chances when it comes to tracking down this Jijiroon character. Let's say we work together then. I put the shakes on the shopkeep over yonder already. He don't got a glimmer where the old boy's got to. Says this pile over here is Jijiroon's stash, but it ain't nothing but chocobo feed. Hardly worth filching when it comes down to it. Thought he might have taken the loot with him, but the only thing missing's what was here in the chest. According to the shopkeep, when nothing but a pile of Mamulja coinage, and that ain't worth its weight in shite to anyone in this side of the deep. Except the Mamulja, that is. No Eorzean merchant touched the stuff with a 40-arm barge pole, but chances are it's still of some value to the beasts. You don't reckon the rat bastard's gone off to hire himself a lizardman army, do you? There's a band of the scaly buggers hanging around the northwards, but a Kieran's the one thing and a Mamulja's another. I ain't getting paid enough to go poking my nose in lizard business. I'll head back to Limsa and report to Zongo. Don't be getting yourself in any trouble now. Maybe he wishes to hire a dancing crew?
Look, debt collector comes to Jijiroon's debts. Jijiroon give Maruja.
Please.
Maruja back shiny shinies, then good Mamulja protect Jijiroon for bad collector, yes?
Very well, Jijiroon. You have deal. Mamulja protect you from smooth skin. Soldiers cover our retreat.
It's not like that! Get back here, you rat bastard!
You seek Jijiroon Collector? Collector? The pirate has him. Mamulja make deal to protect Jijiroon from you, and you alone. He say nothing about the pirate. You are not Collector? Then Mamulja work is done. Jijiroon make another bad deal. No wonder collectors are after him. Mamulja make good deal with Jijiroon. Buy many items and pay fair price. But when we pay, Jijiroon says our money no good, and ask for Gil. If Jijiroon want Gil, he need to say so at the start. Mamulja proud warriors, not mind readers. You will find Jijiroon, speak with the rat brother. Maybe he knows where the pirate take him. It's about equidistance, so I might as well. They need a crystal on both sides or something. I know that's what the fairy's for, but still. Oof. By the time I got back down there, I'd be almost half across anyways.
Jijiroon did deal with Mamulja and got Mamulja shiny shinies?
But Mamulja Shiny's no good to pay back his back payments. Oh no, oh no. Jijiroon collected by collector. That collector a pirate collector. And pirate collector debtors are barreling him in barrels and jettisoning them from jetties. Got to stop Jijiroon getting launched into the lake. Go to Jijiroon shop and stop Freebooter from booting Jijiroon into the wet water. Mimijoon got arrangements to arrange, but see you there soon. I mean, technically you paid off his debts, it's just not in the same currency that the human tribes use. A whimpering barrel. Oh no. Ooh. Well, if it ain't me old darling. Look here, I finally got my mitts on a shrieking wretch, and he's about to take the plunge. Seems he'd be making merry with the Mamulja, but he's never counted on him trying to lumber him with their own dodgy lucre. And you can't pay your debts with lizard coin, can you, Jijiroon? Poor old bugger ain't a bad sort, really. Should have just been a bit more careful drawing up his deals with the beastmen. But good intentions don't count for shite in this business. A dealer's defaulter, and a bailiff's gotta do what a bailiff's gotta do. I thought I'd wash my hands of the pirate life when I went to the collecting racket, but the old days still come in handy. And pays me a pretty penny to give those as bilk their lenders, and to save... I can't read pirate language, Nan. Give their lenders the old heave-o, pirate style. Bung 'em in a barrel and sling 'em in the briny.
Stop. Emerald give you shinies. Many shinies to pay repayments.
Hey, what's with the hubbub, Whiskers? Aren't you saying you pay off Jijiroon's debts for him? Well, blow me down. There's enough gil here to drag down a galleon. This'll cover what the consortium's after, all right. That's an end of that, then. Time to let the rat out of the barrel. I'm so curious what these are and why they don't have a primal.
Jijiroon no speak to Memoryroon for so long time, but Memoryroon pay Jijiroon's payment? Jijiroon not worthy of worthy Memoryroon. Nothing to give in return. Nothing but Jijiroon shop. Jijiroon shop, no more. Jijiroon shop, Memoryroon shop now. No. Memoryroon no take Jijiroon shop. Jijiroon keep dealing deals, and pay Memoryroon back bit by bit.
They could be sort of based off of the rat tribes in Final Fantasy IX, albeit way shorter and a little sillier. Hey, are you looking to get your hands on its trading post? I thought you Kirans were all cutthroats when it came to business. And if you had his plot, you'd have it the old whole of Upper Lenosha under your thumb. And there ain't nothing like a monopoly to push up prices.
No. Memoryroon no want Jijiroon shop. Memoryroon just wants to help. Why Jijiroon no ask helpful Memoryroon for help. Jijiroon could no face showing Memoryroon his face. Good Memoryroon suggest good suggestions, but ignorant Jijiroon ignore proposals. And propose Memoryroon go away. Jijiroon wrong to wrong Memoryroon. Feel bad feelings ever since. Jijiroon no wrong. Jijiroon and Memoryroon differ because Jijiroon and Memoryroon different. Good Jijiroon stand up for long-standing customers. Good Memoryroon like to look good for likely place to find new customers. Different ways of working, but both ways can work.
So that's how it is. You were stuck on staying put because you didn't want to leave your old customers in the lurch, huh? But while your brother's new post starts rolling in it, picking up all the new custom of the Western Road, your old faith will let you down. Only takes a few big money deals to go south, and before you know it, you ain't got nothing to piss in. It's a sorry tale, to be sure.
Memoryroon can only set up new shop to show Memoryroon as good trader Jijiroon. If Jijiroon not there to motivate Memoryroon, Memoryroon not got no motivation. Jijiroon will always be Memoryroon's unrivaled rival.
You hear that, Jijiroon? Your little brother don't have to set store in you. And when you better... I don't pirate language, man. And what better way is there to thank him than for saving your hide than bringing your business back to its feet? Just remember to get him to pay in gil next time.
Jijiroon got tears and teary eyes. Jijiroon agrees to agreement. Jijirun deal better deals, and get the better of Mimiroon. Not as bad enemies, but good rivals.
Now that's what I call a deal. And with both of you backing each other up, I reckon there's no way this one will fall through. Go on then, lads. Get back to your posts. Draw up your plans and show Lenosha what you got. So we just not gonna discuss the almost murder? Level 21. Alright, Kupo. I'm on my way back. I should have looked up how many there were before I got started on this. Is it in my history by any chance? Wouldn't think I've gone off that many deep ends. Maybe. Moogle Mail, Final Fantasy XIV quest. Okay, I think we're still in... No, we're in 2.4 something, I think. I wonder if some I won't be able to access until I do more MSQ, the Hazy Professor. Which is... I don't know if I recognize that one. No, we're in 2.51. So there are 4 left. Okay, this is going better than I thought then. If there's only 4. This might be a reasonable episode.
Knowledge, my dear assistant, is the gift that keeps on giving. I've got letters today for a fellow who embodies that notion, Professor Lamberton Kupo. He's an authority on Aether, known for his passion and absent-mindedness. I'm sure you've heard of him. Lately, everyone is talking about his theories. Now, such a renowned scholar has many students, and their letters come from his best and brightest. So your task, my friend, is to deliver the mail to Lamberton in Camp Reborn. Make sure to get there promptly, as a good post person should, Kupo.
Yeah, because I think they come in clusters. Underneath me. He's gotta be. He's gotta be in a building. Yeah, you helped me with some crystals when I was getting into Garuda's fort, weren't you? Well, yes, I'm Professor Lamberton. Huh? We've met, you say? Are you certain about that? Perhaps telling me why you've come will refresh my memory. I've been expecting these. I still can't quite remember you, but you have my thanks all the same. These will attend to the symposium. Excellent. I expect their replies sooner, but better late than ever. Pray excuse me, I've gotten ahead of myself. The symposium I speak is of a biannual event that I organize for my students. We gather under one roof to share our research and critique others constructively, of course. Perhaps you're familiar with the aspect conversion? 'Tis a theory, but I recently published with the aid of an adventurer much like you. Come to think of it. Anyway, the focus of symposium shall be post-aspect conversion. I wonder if it's because of the crystal I had him help me refine. Speaking of which, the hour of need is already upon us, though it seems my pupils have yet to arrive. Oh well. There are papers I can attend to while I wait. Since you have proven yourself an able courier, would you mind taking these flowers to the tavern for me? 'Tis the venue for my symposium, and I fear it wants for decoration. Discourse flows where liquor runs free, and I suspect blossoms will stimulate discussion for everyone. Oh wait, I'm such a dumbass. I am so used to going out into the wilds. This is probably, don't mind the fact that I put my bird into your shop, but... You're still here. I must have finished more quickly than I realized. Though to do things swiftly and well is only natural for a mind like mine. Where are my students? 'Tis strange of them to be late. And what of my big surprise? I present the original 4 volumes of my latest work on the properties of aspect conversion. I intend to bequeath them to my students as thanks for their assistance, once they arrive anyway. Maybe they never got their letters. If yours was backed up, maybe theirs is too. And waiting. And waiting. They're awfully tardy. Perhaps I shall retire to my chambers for the time being. Well, I suppose you are free to go. But if you venture outside Camp Dryborn, would you keep your eyes open for my pupils? I'm sure they're fine, but I worry all the same. Just gonna leave these here, huh? Where art thou, pupils? Oh yeah, when I get to Heavensward, since there's going to be new areas, I don't think it'll let me fly right off the bat, since that's something I had to earn by beating the first half of A Realm Reborn. So don't worry about me skipping ahead of a lot of stuff, because the game probably won't let me. You see neither hide nor hair of the students. Also, this area keeps having a loon in the background, which is a type of duck, an endangered one from where I'm from. This is supposed to be an African setting. Why is there a loon? Please choose bird sounds more carefully. You have no idea how many games I play that are in, like, settings other than where I'm currently at, but they use Midwest bird sounds. Stop. Please use birds native to the area. I'm sure Africa has unique birds. Use African birds. Have you seen any sign of my students outside the camp? If your setting is Canada or the Midwest, by all means, use bird sounds like you currently are, but this bird sound would make sense in Kurthus. It does not make sense here. Nothing at all? My students must be busy with their research. So busy they forgot to tell me. The symposium is hereby cancelled. My pupils will have to wait for their... You gads! The books! I left them in the tavern! This is also... Could you retrieve them for me? I require a moment. I'm sorry, man. Oh, the books. The books should still be on the table. I would go myself, but it seems a grain of sand has lodged in my eye. Nobody heeded his invitation. They look like they're still here. Do mine eyes mislead me? 'Tis the adventurer who came in search of corrupted crystals. Of the countless taverns throughout the realm that would cross paths here, tell me, Bren, what brings you to this place? Temp job. The symposium's been cancelled on account of our absence? Whatever for? It's to be held tomorrow, not today. Evidently, the professor mixed up the date, hence why he fears we've forgotten all about it. Oh, the professor could be ever so slightly scatterbrained, though a genius when it comes to theoretical studies. As if worse hasn't been said to us, Hashiko. Haha, Soko. People would still think us lunatics had we not come to study under the professor. Indeed. Whatever his failings, none of us would be where we are without him. I say we surprise him with a gift of our own, something to show our thanks for all he has done, and to commemorate his latest publication. Hear, hear, and I think we know what would make the perfect gift. Corrupted crystals! A fine idea if I do say so myself. Can we count on your help as well?
I must return to Highbridge and prepare a containment vessel for the crystals. You may come and collect it anon.
Corrupted crystals are central to the professor's research. I dare say we'll jump for joy when he gets them.
As Professor Lambert's greatest students, we must lift his spirits. I, most of all, as the greatest of us three.
So can we send him, like, word that you guys are okay and that you didn't abandon him so he doesn't leave? Even if I just step into his room to say, hey, I think there's a quick correction. Today is the 20th, not the 21st. Now that I've said it's June 20th, it'll be fun to see when this actually comes out. It'll probably be sometime more mid or late July.
"'Tis high time you arrived. I completed my preparations a long while ago. We see crystals marred by nary a single mark. Make your way to the center of the burning wall where stands the finest of fortifications. Here is a sledgehammer you can use to fracture a cluster once there. And here is a warded pot. Collect within it the shards of a crystal and deliver the lot to Sienna. Simple, is it not? I trust you are aware the nearest path to the burning wall begins at the Burgundy Falls. Then I bid you merry mining." "Are you as absent-minded as the professor? Go and gather corrupted crystals from the center of burning wall. Use the sledgehammer I have kindly provided to fracture a cluster and place the crystals within the pot. Then take the pot to Sienna. Was anything unclear, or must I repeat myself again?"
No, it's just sometimes you guys have more lore. Guess I can use sledgehammers outside of being a miner. You pick up the sledgehammer, your job automatically changes on accident. You pick up a cooking knife, your job automatically changes on accident. You fracture the corrupted cluster, place the crystals within the warded pot. You know what? I'm gonna be lazy.
Welcome back. Did the Mirror Knights give you any trouble? An exquisite pot full of corrupted crystals if I ever saw one. Well now, that's everything seems to be in order. I shall summon the professor for his surprise.
What surprise, pray tell? If it was for the symposium, I'm afraid you're too late. I'm afraid you're too early. Professor Lambertant! And you? Did you ever intend to return with what I asked? Why, I ought to.
Hold on a moment, Professor. You forgot that symposium starts tomorrow. We know you can be a bit absent-minded, but above all else, we beg you to remember. No student ever skips a symposium. Voila! Corrupted crystals to celebrate your latest publication and to express our gratitude for your constant support.
Sorry. Ah, so that's what you three have been doing. I hardly know whether to laugh or cry. It just so happens I've prepared something for each of you as well. The properties of aspect conversion would not exist were it not for you all, and so I thought to divide the volumes between the four of us, that the set would be complete whenever we meet. Your questions, your contributions, your very presence drives me onwards, as quickly as a corrupted crystal can change aspects. It matters not where our research takes us, so long as we are of one mind and one purpose. Why don't we meet 4 times a year instead of 2? It would be a pleasure to hear your papers more often, and to present my own, of course. I must say I'm quite eager to begin experimenting with these crystals. You didn't go to too much trouble to obtaining them, did you?
Not at all. Ren saw to the dangerous task. For the second time, come to think of it, didn't their efforts serve as inspiration for your research before?
Ren, oh, I knew I'd seen you before. Well, no longer shall your contributions go unrecognized. I, Professor Lambertant, hereby name thee an honorary pupil. Now, my friends, to work. The unsolved mysteries of Aether are waiting to be unraveled. And I get some crystals of my own, as thanks. Level up. Sorry. With your successful delivery, your reputation as a letter carrier has grown. I think my throat's starting to go, honestly. But there's 3 left. Yeah, it looks like 2, and then the last one's gonna be the final one. Blues on Emerald Avenue.
Dear me, a fine mess of this, a fine mess indeed, Kupo. Kupopo, I didn't notice you there. I was so preoccupied with living a Postmoogle's worst nightmare. I have a letter with an unreadable address. All I can make out are the words Mond and Ulda. The rest is illegible squiggles. Who could it be? Claymond? No, maybe Bymond. Or Frymond? Oh, of course, Wymond. Yes, Wymond, the Sultan's information monger. Not a single doubt about it. My assistant, Wymond and Ulda, is the recipient. Now take this letter from him. I believe he can be found at Emerald Avenue most days. I'll rest easy knowing it's in your experienced hands, Kupo.
It's probably the wrong person. This is why we put full addresses. Also, you could have asked when you picked it up what it said. If it ain't my Venturin friend, or is it a post person today? Can't say I was expecting mail, though. The Deputy Postmoogle assures you this missive is intended to delivery for Wymond, despite the lack of legible marks on the envelope. Raymond, we have your daughter. Demands behind shack at Copperbell. Obey or she dies. The Purple Haze. 'Tis a ransom note. And it's to Raymond. Why'd you bring this to me? I ain't Raymond, you fool. And I can't very well look the other way now, can I? Of course, I'd have to be the goddamn Purple Haze. Cruel sense of humor, fate's got, making me remember what I've worked to forget. They're a gang of crooks who do a newborn babe for the right price. They've all got thrown in the clink before the calamity. If they're at large again, then we've got to stop them. My home plus your blunder makes it we. So I'll thank you to get their demands from Copperbell. I also got to remember to actually get some stuff from this Moogle. I don't know how long this tombstone thing is still active. I've got 76. I forgot what else I wanted. These are the old ones. The blue ones are the new ones. Keepers. Behemoth. Bookshelf. Flowers. Oh yeah, you can get like MGP this way, like a whole crap ton of it. 50,000 for every 30 of these, which still isn't fast, but... Steed of Legend, Direwolf, Umbrella. Super pink, so I'm not keen on it. Domakeen, a little fish. I might do fish. Got this one. Oofty. I've got one of these too. So let's summon the fish. Yeah, I need to find a way to turn that off. Anyway, actions and traits. Minions. Goldfish. Where art thou? Girl, my yokai. Here it is. Dumakeen. Reeled in by your retainer, this delightfully plump fish was created by a Doman goldfish enthusiast. Its name is a portmanteau of its nation and the local word for gold. It floats in the air by virtue of cloud breath seeds it devoured, though how it manages to breathe is unknown. Actually, so long as goldfish's fins are wet, they can actually breathe in air. Goldfish can breathe for a surprising amount of time out of water, so long as they remain wet. About an hour, like I said, if I'm remembering correctly. Of course, they'd find it very distressing. I'm just saying it more from a biology perspective. No? Oh, over here. List of demands. And back to Ul'dah. I thought I was gonna do something else. Or even be sent into the dungeon. You know, leaving it on the floor like that, what if it blew away? Nice timing. I just got back myself from delivering the bad tidings to Raymond and his wife. Good folk hit by bad fortune, those two. Had to stop him from calling in the brass blades, though, every time. That'd only force the Hayes' hands and get the girl killed. Took a lot of promises, but they've trusted her life to me. That's how it stands on my end. You got the ransom demands? Hazer demanding the deed to Raymond's land, or the ceruleum neath it, more like. Secure the mineral rights and live as kings. Clever. Too clever. I've got a sneaking suspicion the gang's actions at the Brawn to some corrupt merchant, but they'll succeed over my dead body. Before I get you involved, there's something you ought to know. I used to be part of Purple Haze. I was one of the bastards. Blackmail, extortion, confidence tricks. If it was a far cry from the lawful, I had a hand in it. Those were black days, and I'd be lost in the dark, if not long dead, had it not been for her, a flower girl named Mirtha, who used to stand at this very spot. Buying one of her roses turned me into a daily routine, just to hear her say, "Thank you kindly, Mr. Wymond." Not once did she get my name right, but seeing that innocent smile made me see goodness in the realm. Yeah, there was a character like that in Final Fantasy XIV. I can't think of his name, but he was part of the Turks. I think he has red hair. Can't say. Was it red hair? I think it was, no, maybe it was the dude with black hair. It's been such a long time. But then the haze silences this one bloke. He was a good upstanding type, well informed on the game. Brave man's sacrifice should have been made for a happy ending, but that informer was Mithra's brother. And she just vanished. Never saw her smiling face again after that day. Not once. Ain't easy to talk about, even after all these years. Any road, it was the push I needed to leave the criminal life. I sang like a canary to the most famous detective I could find, Hildebrand. I was gonna say, is that my waifu in the background? Not you, darling. But he took me for the dead man. Went around Ul'dah telling anyone who would listen I was a righteous monger of information. Soon enough, all of the Haze were, behind bars. I'd gotten my new chapter, but had nothing else to my name. So I stepped into the murdered bloke's life and rode the rumors to where I am today. Come to think on it, though, where in the hell's our Hildy and Nashu? Even that prize pair should have gotten wind of this kidnapping. And there they go. Bye, wife. Well, my point is that I ain't standing by while the scum threatens the little girl's life. Can I count on you to help saving her? Good, good. Because it just so happens I've got a scheme that needs 2 bodies. The way I see it, Haze will disperse if we snuff out the mastermind, but this merchant's too smart to be caught within a palm of the gang, so we'll just need to trap a trap so large he can't see it coming. The market itself. First, we have to start a few rumors and make them seem true. Make your way to Caesarauga at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, and get his attention with this banknote. Tell him you're working for a wealthy fellow who wants to buy as much ceruleum as he can with Gil promised on that paper. Then, actually buy a boatload of the fuel from whoever Caesarauga introduces. You mark my words. These villains are going to rule the stumbling back into my life. The right word to his ear, and every able merchant will likely to learn what we want him to do. Tell him you're looking to buy ceruleum on behalf of an employer with that banknote. Then get a load from whoever he introduces. I forget what we use here. Item exchange. In this one-stop shop, a subsidiary of Rowena's House of Splendors, practically every weapon, piece of gear, or helpful item that can be purchased in exchange for Algan tomestones and similar tokens has been gathered in a single convenient location. Take a moment to browse the merchandise. Oh, is this like a whole bunch of stuff? I don't select a subcategory. Oh, maybe if this is like... Maybe I didn't have to... Oh, I don't have to travel to Mordona for this. The Master and Ironworker? Geralt's Masterworks, the Liberator. Oh, can I maybe buy these here instead of doing, like, a full-ass quest? 600 tomestones. Maybe it's, like, the base weapon, but maybe not. Primal gear, 110 to 115. But it needs something. Tidal Harpoon Wave. Sounds like it would be dropped from... Need a wave harpoon, which I don't know what that's about. And a Mirror of Whirl, a mysterious mirror that harbors the power of the mighty Leviathan. I'm assuming that's from the Expert dungeon. Huh. Maybe it's an easier way instead of being forced to do some of the quests that I'm currently undertaking. I might consider it for some of the easier weapons going forward, just to get myself set up a little bit more nicely, but since we're almost at Heaven's Word, I don't know. Also, am I the only one who feels like I actually did somewhat marry Hildebrand? Let's see. He does a dance that introduces me to his parents, and his parents almost accept me as family. There is a weird sort of pseudo-wedding. I don't know. There's a weird relationship there now. Like, we're friends, but also because of the weird Hildebrand dance thing, it feels like I'm engaged somehow. Adventurer, what do you want? A purveyor of ceruleum, you say? An expensive request. Do you have the funds to back it? But at the same time, everybody is so silly, Nashu, Hildebrand, and the entire family, that, like, we're all in a state of limbo. And now Hildebrand almost treats me as if, like, I'm part of the family regardless. I don't know. It's a cute dynamic, and I like it. It's adorable. My dear, how came you by such great riches? Not from this continent. Your employer's money, eh? Well, allow me to assure you that you are speaking with the right person. Seangot, the fellow over yonder, will be happy to provide all the ceruleum you desire, and let us not forget to thank the finder. Your sudden interest, however, gives credence to today's rumors that a certain engineer's groundbreaking invention will send the demand for ceruleum soaring. Yes, 'tis perhaps time that I purchase ceruleum futures myself. What could I do for Miss Mr. Modi with... Oh, but I've said too much. You have an interest in Momodi, you say? But she turns everyone away. Welcome, welcome. What might it asserting? Ceruleum, of course. Are you interested in current stock or future? And what do you have to spend? Gods be good. In all my days, no one has ever placed so large an order. Is it your money, yes? If you're tied up in something shady, there can be no deal. I see. Well, if this employer of yours is legitimate, I'll be happy to assist you. And let me say, he has impeccable timing. What do I mean? Why, that the market has just been full of rumors today about Garland Ironworks. The word is that those engineers found a way to craft airships for a fraction of the cost. Vessels will soon fill the skies, and the price of ceruleum will soar. If that's true, ceruleum will become the most desirable of commodities, and with the amount he's willing to spend, I dare say your employer knows a thing or two we don't. But isn't it like a non-renewable resource? Does it just reinvent carbon emissions? Sid! But this is not the time to talk. Here's your ceruleum futures contract. I'll make good use on it, or my name isn't Singot. Okay, back to the front, I do believe. Heard Siroga's introduced you to Singot. Do you have a futures contract to show for your dealings with him? Well, you've set the price of ceruleum soaring high as an airship. It was me who started those rumors, but they look real now that you've placed that order. Hold on to the futures contract now. 'Tis the very bait we need to lure the mastermind out into the open. No doubt he's heard how you swept into the markets. It's likely to vex him, as is the news that he's gotten himself a rival businessman with a real adept underling. And how do you imagine he'd feel if Seth Underling were to meet with the Hayes secretly? With ceruleum prices as high as they are, he'd feel betrayed for the goddamn sure. It's a date with the kidnapper at the Coffer and Coffin for you. You'll have to find a man of the Hayes. Of course, but just keep your eyes out. Get his attention with a pint. Then show him the futures contract and let it slip your employer's looking for rich land. His greed'll do the rest. Basically, we placed a fake order to make it seem like this world's version of gasoline is in super high demand. And if the merchants think they can sell it at any price because people are desperate for it, it's going to make it harder for everybody else to get their hands on. What? A drink? Fine. Ain't nothing in the realm for free, though. What do you want? So it's your master what struck it rich with the ceruleum craze. Suppose it's him I ought to thank for this grog, huh? Mine his own ceruleum? I'll wager he is, the greedy bugger. Maybe you've got an itch I can scratch. I'll be coming to the deed in a huge plot of land shortly. Ceruleum-rich land, its yield? Take what you're imagining and add 2 zeros. 2! Might be land ain't quite my cup of tea. Might be as I'm willing to sell it. For the right offer, that is. Just a little something to think about. But I'm drowning my troubles here most days if you fancy another chat. The meat here don't go down half very well. If you've a mind to talk business, come back and join me for a pipe. Go all the way back out. Wait, it's right here. Duh. While you were gone, the price of ceruleum hit its peak. I'll need the contract back now. It'll fetch a good price, and give me the funds to finish things with a bang. Appreciate it. And you meet him with the thug. Our mastermind's sure to be feeling betrayed. What with the Sutherland talking to my own at the Coffer and Coffin. After he went to the trouble of kidnapping Raymond's daughter, false friends trying to turn a profit of their own ain't likely to sit well with him. And I've given him a little push with a certain letter as well. Reckon he'll be leaving to question the Hayes right about now. A lot of them are making for Cutter's Cry, and straight into the trap you've worked to bait. Leave the springing of it to me. Ain't none of them leaving those caves unscathed. What did I mean to do? Can't spoil the surprise yet, but don't worry, Dooley. Wyman's just gonna play a trick. Something from the bad old days. But that cave's full of monsters. Lots and lots of bugs. What have I got planned? Fire ants. Big ones. The stage is set, and we're in for a good show. The Haze is said to put the deeds over there. I obliged, with a forgery. Our mastermind's here too. I'm hoping my deed fools them so they let the girl go. Easy lass, you're safe now. Just keep close to that kindly venturer, eh? Ah, looks like the drama's unfolding twixt our villains. Wouldn't want to be the thug's boots. Our master's doubtless given the bloke a right proper grilling right about his relationship with you. But at the end of the day, the merchant needs the Haze. To keep him sweet, he'll offer a bigger share of the spoils. And they'll accept it, I don't doubt. No sense in them siding with some venturer they barely know over the merchant's coin. So they'll seal their deal with the Haze's solemn custom, passing a pipe while speaking in Crook's bow. That sworn in Somnus's glow holds true in Hell's fire, as if a puff or two has bound them to anything. But I will say that a bit of Somnus takes the edge off. But what if some bloke went and hid military-grade fire sand nearby, the moment they light their pipe, 100 million gills worth of stuff will explode. And that's what I sold the Future's contract for. Explosive was what can blow a settlement sky high. Unless that's what the fellow who sold it. Now hold on a moment. The whole sky high bit might have been a figure of speech. So is the Cutter's Cry, like, accessible anymore? Or seven hells, I hope something survived that. Well, little one, I reckon you've had enough excitement to last a lifetime, and you watched two adults get blown to bits. Go and find the brass blades. They'll see you safely to your parents.
Yes, sir, thank you. I will have nightmares forever thanks to this.
Good child. Make sure that she meets her family at Arzenith Ossuary. They ought to thank you for all that you've done. I'd be grateful if you check on Raymond's wife while you're there. She's young and comely, but the worry made her look as weary as a crone. What a way to say she's ugly, and this made her uglier. It's so rude. Is that the Thaumaturge's Guild? Huh? And she is not comely.
Thanks again, venturer.
And you're the one who rescued my daughter? Thank you 1,000 times. Truly, words cannot express how relieved I am to have her back. Oh, are you Wyman's friend? Then I owe you a great debt. I was beside myself with worry when he came, but no longer. My daughter is safe. As she tells it, it seems we need to fear the gang or some awful merchant no more. You have my gratitude as well. In truth, I wavered. Enlist the brass blades to bring our daughter home by force, or leave it to Wyman to save her with the cunning. But my wife felt he could be trusted, and full glad I am that she convinced me to do so as well.
We wish to thank Wyman, too. Could you take this to him in the Everell Avenue? 'Tis a token, really, but I hope it shows our appreciation. Once again, thank you for returning our daughter.
One more rose. Wait, maybe she grew up. Maybe that is her. Maybe that is the little girl and he just has no semblance of the passing of time. They grow up fast, man. Playing post person again? Wait, before you hand it over, are you dead certain it's for me? And if it is, that it ain't another ransom note? A gift from Raymond's wife to an old friend. A rose, just like when I used to buy from Mirthra. Ever since she vanished, time stood still for me. I've been waiting for her for so long. What used to be your spot turned into mine. Precious blossom, this. Makes the good memories come flooding back. Who's it from, by the way? Raymond's wife, huh? Well, look at that. There's even a card. Thank you kindly, Mr. Mymond. You're Mirtha. 7 hells, it was her all along? She grew up quick. I'm glad she's happy and has a good husband. Well, thank you. It's time I start moving for me again. Thank you kindly, Mr. Wymond. She spelt it wrong. She still doesn't get my name right, and I wouldn't have it any other way. With your successful delivery, letter carrier reputation has grown. 2 more left. Always regretted never saying goodbye to Mirtha. Ain't many who find them they lost, and I'm lucky to have learned she's alive. So I decided to share my good fortune by giving the money left over from our cerulean venture to the refugee children. Maybe their smiles are turning some bad folk good, huh? Oop, not that. We need to go back to Lenosha. This way, Kupo. I don't think it always spawns you into the same spot. Better left unfound. The Postmoogle's quizzical brow suggests he is an unusual delivery.
Ah, Bren, you've come not a moment too soon, Kupo. I have a letter addressed to Landonel over at Camp Tranquil that wants for immediate delivery. I hope he isn't inclined to send a reply, though, because there's no return address to be seen, but one task at a time, Kupo. First of all, we, and by that I mean you, must see the letter safely to Landonel's hands. I must warn you, though. Rumor has it the good captain of the Sixth Spear has been acting strange as of late. Perhaps this letter has something to do with it. At any rate, best not keep him waiting. Now off you go, Kupo!
Okay, this is the last outside one, and then it's going to be, I think, the final quest for Kupo himself. Deputy Postmoogle needs to get back to work. Get some salve for those wings. You two were part of the sending me on a culinary quest before I fought Titan. Well, if it isn't Bren. It's been too long. Still gallivanting about on endless adventures, I should doubt. And what I wouldn't give to be doing the same. But enough about my suppressed desires. What business brings you here? A letter? Well, what have we here? This cannot be. It's an invitation from Wisecat to a memorial service for the commander of the Company of Heroes. The commander went missing some 5 years ago, shortly before the calamity. As if in anticipation for his disappearance, he disbanded the company and sent us all our separate ways. It was all so sudden. We knew not what to make of it at the time. Some believe he feared for the lives that would be lost at the hands of the primals. Others believe he was convinced the calamity would mean our end, and dismissed us that we might enjoy what little time remained. His final request was that, whatever life should lead us next, we live up to the words of our company creed. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. To that end, I returned here to Gridania, and joined the Wood Whalers. I've done my best to honor that promise, but if truth be told, I was never truly happy at my post. Often did I dream of fighting at my commander's side once more. And so I've decided to resign from the Wood Whalers. Indeed, I have already made my decision, knowing my superior, and but await an official discharge. Once released from my post, I had intended to search for the commander of Wisecat, of whom I'd been in contact about my plans. But now this letter arrives, with talk of a memorial service. I simply cannot believe it. There was no one stronger, more resourceful. What's more, Wisecat himself agreed to help me find the commander. What would he do if... Why would he do this if he knew that the man had died? Whatever the hell's is going on, I would get to the bottom of it. I would go to Wisecat and demand an explanation. And depending on what he says, former comrade or no, I may well split the bastard on my lance. You'd best be on hand when I talk to him, Adventure, lest I do something I may regret. I shall make my way to Costa del Sol as soon as the matter of my resignation is settled. Pray join me there. I shan't approach Wisecat until you have arrived. I shall not be much longer before the matter of my resignation is resolved. I shall join you at Costa del Sol as soon as my business is finished. Maybe it's a way to get him to all clump up. Caster Lanadel has always been so calm and collected. For this letter to vex him so, I can only imagine what tragedy has befallen him. Good, you're finally here. Now we can get on to business. You agreed to help me search for the commander, but then you sent me this invitation. What's the meaning of this? Captain Wisecat of the Company of Heroes requests the honor of your presence at the memorial service for... Is this some cruel joke? I'm sorry, Lanadel, but I've heard no news of the commander, let alone his passing, and I certainly have no plans for holding a service for him. I am as baffled as you are by the letter. I should like to know who penned it. I see. I'm relieved to hear that you've no part in this absurdity. A great many mysteries yet remain, to be sure, but as long as we can find the commander, I shan't bestir myself over them. I trust you can rely on your aid still, old friend. With the commander back at the helm of the Company of Heroes, shall be reunited once more, and good riddance to my tedious life as a wood whaler. I believe I have an inkling as to the sender's identity and intent. Knowing this, I cannot in good conscience help you in your search. I'm sorry, my friend. What? This is not what we agreed upon. The letter, the memorial service. What do they matter if we know them to be false? You said you'd help me, and you simply go back on your word? On your word? Gods damn you. No. Chill. Wisecat, you bastard. Hell's take you and your thrice damned lies. Soothe. Chill. He always did have a quick temper. I'm sorry to impose, my friend. Could I ask you to try and soothe him? Right now I'm the last person in the world with whom he will listen. Pat his head. Chill. Chill. I know full well. Skewering Wisecat won't get me any closer to finding the commander, but... Look, Lanadel, I understand your desire to find the commander. However, I must remind you that of your promise to him. You will never live up to your word chasing after shadows of the past. My promise does not preclude me from searching for the commander. If you will not help me, I will simply find someone who will. As though he's reverted to his old savage self. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. The commander was a father to him. Truth be told, Lanadel's real father was a criminal, or so the story goes. Sad, really. He was just a child, and yet the townsfolk assumed the worst of him. Before the sins of his father, you could say. His poor mother reaching the end of her tether. At least that's what they said when they found him hanging from the rafters. Landonel was not completely alone, though. He became fast friends with Ywain, now master of the Lancers Guild in Gridania. They were nigh inseparable back then, but the townsfolk's disdain for Lanadel did not cease, and he feared the ire would soon turn toward Ywain. Rather than risk the well-being of his dear friend, Landonel abandoned what little remained of this world. Landonel was convinced the world hated him, and he returned the feeling in kind. He became a monster, that is, until he met the commander, and was taken in by the company. I dare not think what would have happened had they never crossed paths. It was not an easy feat, to be sure, but the commander helped Landonel set aside the anger that had taken control of his life. That was Landonel's loving respect for the commander that brought him peace, but that selfsame love may cost him everything he has achieved. The man who wrote that letter suspected as much, and used this ruse of a memorial service to bring Landonel to me. But I fear he's not likely to understand why that letter was sent to him. I realize you were only entrusted with a simple delivery, but it would mean a lot to me if you could keep an eye on him. If he seems to be losing his way, please give him a gentle reminder of our company motto. Knowing him, he will next go to Wineport. Whenever he was in trouble, he would always seek out Shamani for advice. Godspeed, friend. Make sure he doesn't hurt himself, or anyone else for that matter. To Wineport, then. Was it maybe the old friend who sent the letter, then? Albeit not as a friend? I simply do not understand, Shamani. How could Wisecat put aside our search like that? Does he no longer care for the commander?
No longer care? I must disagree. Choosing not to search for the commander and not caring for him are two rather different things.
Then what of this so-called memorial service? Wisecat seems willing enough to help me, but then he read the letter. Whoever sent the accursed thing wants us to give up the search. I suspect your meeting with Wisecat is what the sender had intended. Like as not, your coming here was also anticipated. From everything you've told me, it is clear the man who penned that letter cares a great deal about you, and understands you quite well to know you would come for us. Who in the seven hells would be worried about the likes of me? Wisecat said he suspected who delivered the missive, but I haven't the faintest idea. Maybe it's your mom, I don't know. It saddens me to hear you say that. We may have gone our separate ways, but in our hearts we are still all brothers. Now tell me, who of our members cared most for you? Who was always there to offer you a guiding hand? Why, that could only be the commander. Precisely. And it was out of the desire to see you move forward that he sent the letter to you. Contrary to what it seems, the commander is alive and well, and even now he watches over you. That, I believe, was the message he wished to convey. I tire of these games. If he's still alive, as you say, where in the seven hells is he? Poor guy got ran the fuck over. Remember, the duty of the strong is to protect the weak. As if I would ever forget the company words. The commander taught them to me when I first met him. To this day, I remember the moment vividly. We are standing atop the point overlooking Costa del Sol. If the commander had meant to verify whether I'd sought out Wisecat after receiving his letter, that is where he would have been. The odds are slim, I admit, but it's the best chance I have of finding him. I must make haste.
I wasn't quite finished, if truth be told, but I suppose it cannot be helped. The commander meant that much to him. From wielding a spear to living an honorable life, Landonell learned all he knows from the commander. Naught gave Landonell greater joy than to meet the commander's expectations, and he went on to distinguish himself among our ranks. After disbanding the company, I believe the commander continued to watch over Landonell, and upon sensing his growing discontent, he decided to take action and sent the letter. The road has been bumpy, but Landonell is... Sorry. Just the fact that he got rear-ended, I'm seeing it, like, actually animated in my head. But Landonell has finally arrived at the truth. But the final leg of his journey remains, and I should be grateful if you were to accompany him.
Back across the sea. Better left unfound. That's his spear, huh? Ren, I might have known you would come as well. Behold, my friend, the spear belongs to the commander. Alas, the man himself is nowhere to be seen. Why? Why does he refuse to meet me? Because you're not ready. By now you ought to know the reason why. It took me long enough, but I think I'm beginning to understand now. As he would always tell us, the duty of the strong is to protect the weak. He wanted us to venture out into the realm and live up to those words, each in his own way. Like you, Wisecat, you were a mercenary of unquestionable renown. The world was yours for the taking, yet you chose to stand as the humble protector of Costa del Sol and all who call her home. Shimani has a hand in revitalizing the Bacchus wine industry, and both Oda and Brayflox have become leaders among their people. We serve the realm better as individuals than as a single entity. That is why the commander disbanded our company. Though I never forgot our words, I did not understand them fully until now. Instead of doing my best as a wood whaler, I had my head in the clouds, dreaming of a return to the glory days of old. We did much good for the realm, and had the time of our lives in the process. But it was past time for us to pass on the torch, and the torch, you must agree, has been taken up by a most worthy individual. The realm has no further need of the company of heroes. The commander believes thus, and I agree with his assessment. That is why I choose not to search for him. Yet never mind, the primal threat is ever growing, and neither shall I anymore. As you said, Wisecat, I'm not ready, or worthy, to face the commander. Ah, what a fool I've been all these years. There's much to be done if I'm to make up for lost time. Commander, if you're watching, you need worry about me no longer. I'll live up to our words and do you proud, that I swear. But why also remain hidden? Your journeys take you far and wide, I believe. Should you happen to cross paths with the commander, please see to it that he knows my mind. I'll go with the gill. Level 24. There should only be one left, Kupo. Yeah, I didn't know that that was a grave, sort of, right there. I mean, yes and no. He's not dead, so not entirely, but still. Yeah, I think it does spawn you in a slightly different spot each time. Anyway, wait, we don't need to warp. We can just... Ah! I'm starting to lose my mind, Kupo. The little Postmoogle that could. When I get a delivery cap, the Deputy Postmoogle would entrust you with a missive to a certain seedseer.
Well, if it isn't my favorite whipping person and my most promising pupil, you couldn't have picked a better time to pay a visit, Kupo. 2 of my Postmoogles in training are set to embark on their first assignment. While they have completed a thorough training session administered by yours truly, the sensitive and sympathetic superior, that's me, is ever concerned for his subordinate safety. I've here in my paw a veritable compendium of choice counsels of the aspiring Postmoogle. Your task is to deliver it to Rayo Senna, in whose custody my subordinates have been placed at Camp Tranquil. Consider it the next stage of your own training, Kupo. Why are you still dallying about when your fellow initiates are in need of your aid? Deliver my sage advice to Rayo Senna at Camp Tranquil, that she might see that my Postmoogles in training are off to a smooth start in their first assignment.
Alright, potentially last one. I think. For a Realm Reborn, anyway. There might be more in Heavensward if it doesn't wrap up here. I'm not sure. Are your 2 friends gonna take on extra duties? Whatever's keeping that Deputy Postmoogle. He promised he'd drop by to offer some parting words of advice to his newest recruits, but he's taken so long that I've already fluttered off. Huh? You must have something for me? A collection of little-known Postmoogle trivia compiled in a concise 10-page portfolio. Be wary of low-hanging branches, and remember to keep a wide berth of any Goobu Maws. I say, this is choice counsel became any more blindingly obvious? That said, I cannot fault the Deputy Postmoogle for showing concern to his subordinates. After all, 'twas his own injury that pressed the 2 Tyros into active service, so far ahead of schedule. Sadly, I fear it will be some time before their wings are fit for duty. Auron believes he has insight on how a suitable remedy might be formulated, but the process will require the services of a first-rate alchemist. Meanwhile, I have 2 wet-behind-the-ears Moogles wandering aimlessly across the realm. I would like nothing more than to see them succeed at their charge. Yet they might inspire a new generation of aspiring Postmoogles, yet I have my doubts that they will do if left on their own. I would have accompanied them myself, but I fear my duties as Seedseer leave me little time to play chaperone. Might you be willing to see them safely to their destination in my stead? The first Moogle flew off in the direction of the quarry mill. Though he does not want for enthusiasm, he is easily frightened by unfamiliar sights and sounds. Should you find him in such a state, pray rally his strength and let him know that we stand behind him. And we're off. You know, I could have carried him down here. He doesn't have to fly to follow me. Get in the backpack, Kupo.
I say, the sack must weigh a tons. No, I cannot do it. I cannot fly another ilm. Oh, woe is me, Kupo. There's not a single kind soul in the realm who will rally this poor Moogle's sunken spirits.
You could do it, Kupo.
Why, thank you. I dare say you've given me the strength to carry on a bit. Wait a moment, I know you. You're the loyal delivery Aura the Deputy Postmoogle is always talking about, Kupo. You came all this way to watch over me? I thank you truly, deeply, from the bottom of my little Moogle heart. You're truly a shining example to delivery Moogles everywhere. Oh, to think that one day I might be a full-fledged carrier like you and the Deputy Postmoogle. Why, it would be a dream come true, Kupo. But now can I hope to reach such heights by staying here fluttering in circles? No, I must deliver this letter safely to Boscarin, just as the Deputy Postmoogle instructed me. And let me just state for the record that no matter what Rayo may have told you, I am not intimidated by this task. Not the slightest. Well, off I go, Kupo.
and yet apparently he makes it about halfway, according to the quest marker.
I'm not scared, Kubo. It's just that I've never been this far from home, you see. What if Bascarin doesn't like Moogles? Friend, might you be able to offer some words of cheer?
Oh god, I forget that's my character's voice. I wish you could, like, change that. God.
Yes, that's exactly what I need to hear. You're exactly right. What can I do anything I put my pom-pom to, Kubo? Perhaps you're wondering why one as fearful and faltering as myself doesn't just leave the stressful life of a carrier behind. But you see, what I truly wish to leave behind is my own miserable lack of courage. I remember the day like it was yesterday. My dear brother lay wounded, struck in the wing by a particularly savage stroper, and yet I could do nothing but quake and quiver beside him. It was the deputy postmoogle who, much to our fortune, was in the vicinity on a delivery assignment, who carried my brother to Camp Tranquil, where Elrond tended to his injuries. Today it's our turn. We shall do our duty and help the postmoogle in his time of need, just as he did for us, and after all, you have done for me. It would mean ever so much if you would drop by to be witness to the moment. I will await you at Bascarin's druthers, Kupo.
I mean, they see a Moogle come in the front door carrying a red satchel. They probably are just going to assume mail.
I've made it. Aren't you proud of me, Kupo? Now behold, as I deliver this letter straight from my paws to Bascarin while remaining stealthily out of sight, just as the deputy postmoogle showed me.
Bloody hells, if it ain't a Moogle in the flesh. Talk about something you don't see every day. Forgot they can make themselves invisible.
Oh no, Kupo! In my eagerness, I've gone and blown my cover. The deputy postmoogle will never let me hear the end of it.
So, you Moogles like to stay out of sight when you make your deliveries, huh? No wonder letters have a habit of appearing out of thin air. Sounds like a right thankless job, but you have my gratitude today.
Did you hear that? Mr. Bascarin gave me his gratitude.
He pets on the stool.
Why, this just might be the happiest day of my life, Kupo.
Since you've proven yourself a capable sort, mayhap you could do me a favor? I have a letter here for Batteron and Limsa that'll somehow has found his way to the druthers. Now he's begging for somebody else's scraps. First he slicks up all the peanuts, and now he's begging for booze.
Oh dear me, this is doubtless the work of my confident yet careless brother. The two of us, you see, have taken our deliveries here in the shroud, while the deputy postmoogle rests his wounded wings. Oh, pray forgive us our failings, Kupo.
Do the job, huh? You needn't go flogging yourselves now. Batteron and I... Well, our names and professions do bear more than a passing resemblance, after all. Besides, I dare say that having the chance to meet my first Moogle is worth the errant letter or two. That said, it troubles me to hear that this associate of yours, the deputy postmoogle was it, has come to harm. Might there be anything I could do to lend a hand? Speak of the medicine. Speak of a need for an alchemist. I see. You just leave that to me, friend. If memory serves, one of my regulars is something of an expert in such matters.
As for Batteron's letter, have no fear. My brother and I will atone for our errors and see it delivered to the right hands. That said, for all of my brother's bravado, I suspect that deep down he too feels a measure of anxiety about his first foray outside the shroud. Might you be so kind as to escort him as you did me? It would mean the world to me, Kupo. We agreed to meet at the Gridania airship landing. I will pass this letter along to him and wait for you to join us.
I didn't have the heart to tell the poor Moogle, but that's the 5th letter for Batteron to come to the druthers just this week. I'll see what I can do to track down some help. This deputy postmoogle can't get back to the job soon enough, if you ask me. Can't get a hold of Batteron, huh? Alright, airship. Actually, I can probably get to it from here. So I gotta go down to the landing.
Well, there you are. Not a moment too soon. I am my paws full, convincing my brother to delay his departure. So you're the deputy postmoogle's prize pupil, huh? Didn't he teach you anything about punctuality, Kupo? I don't know what my little brother told you, but I've been trained my whole life for this. This might be my first time out of the shroud, but if anyone's up to the task, it's me, Kupo. Please, brother, you'll get yourself hurt again. I simply can't live with myself. Please let this adventurer accompany you, if just for safety's sake, Kupo. Ever the warrior word. Look, just because you can't fly more than 2 foams without getting the quivers, it doesn't mean that your brother is in need of a chaperone. That's what you said last time when you almost got yourself swallowed by that slavering stropper. Why, if the deputy postmoogle hasn't wandered by at that precise moment. That was then, this is now, Kupo. I've put on 2 ponces of pure muscle and pored over every map in Eorzea to prepare myself for the task. The last thing I need is some glorified sellsword holding my paw. Now enough chit-chat. I have an airship to board. If you want to see how a real delivery Moogle does in his duty, feel free to tag along. Or don't. It's your loss, not mine, Kupo. Pray forgive my cup, brother Kupo. You may find it hard to fathom, but there's truly a warm fuzzy heart under that brusque exterior. You will see that no harm befalls him, won't you?
Okay. We're coming full circle. I think technically it expected me to ride the airship, but I'm a dumbass.
So this is Limsa. Everything here is so big and boisterous, and the smell of the sea is sending needles up my nose. Nervous? Me? Patiently preposterous, to Kupo. I was born for this assignment. Did you not notice the aplomb with which I handled my maiden airship voyage? Ugh, Kupo. But no, a buccaneer's den is no place for the ordinary Moogle. When the deputy postmoogle is out of commission, the people of Limsa are lucky indeed that I'm here to shoulder the slack. Speaking of which, I believe I have a letter to deliver. If you care to learn a thing or two, come join me at the Drowning Wench. But you'll want to move fast. I'm a busy Moogle, Kupo.
How does a Moogle get airship sickness when they fly? And he probably flied while on the ship.
What took you so long? Take a wrong turn at the Octant? Good thing I'm the one in charge of this assignment. Why I haven't delivered the letter yet? It's not because I'm scared of that burly bearded gentleman over there, that's for certain. I just wanted to give you a chance to witness mastery in motion. Now watch me deliver this letter, all discreet like Kupo.
Bugger me with a broadsword. Which one of you sniveling sops set your wind-up Moogle loose in my establishment?
Wind up? Are you blind or just balmy? I'm a living, breathing Moogle, not some glorified child's toy. Oh, there goes my cover.
Are my eyes to be and ears to be believed? A God's honest Moogle, here in the wench? A letter? Thank you, my furry little friend. But strap me to the mast if this ain't a rare pleasure indeed. I've heard many a rumor about your kind, but I always reckoned you were too keen on letting yourselves be seen.
Ahem. But of course, I simply thought that on this momentous occasion, as my first foray into your fine nation, I would take the opportunity to personally introduce myself. I'm sure that's what the deputy postmoogle, bless his wounded wings, would have wanted.
What's that you say? One of your mates is hurting, is he? Men in my line of work tend to know a little something about everything. If there's anything you might need me, say the word. Speak of the medicine, speak of an alchemist. I wonder if it matters. I reckon one of my regulars just might know a thing or two about that sort of business. I'll send word if I dig anything up. And with that, I'd best get back to pouring grog before one of my customers conks you in the head with an empty flagon.
See, I told you there was nothing to be afraid of. Exploring new environs, forging friendships with the locals. Yes, the carrier's life is a life for me, Kupo.
Yeah, I bet somebody would be like, what is this thing?
But what I've accomplished today will have even more far-reaching repercussions. Yes, once my fellow Moogles back in the Shroud hear of my stunning success, they'll be beating down our doors to join the post-Moogle ranks. And since you've been such a loyal observer, I'll give you the honor of reporting my deeds back to Rhea-O. Oh, if only the deputy post-Moogle were here. Doubtless he would be moved to tears by my magnanimity. Speaking of which, I really should pay him a visit.
You just leave the matter of the Moogle's treatment to me. Truth be told, and I had a mind to keelhaul that Moogle if he'd handed me another letter for Buscarin, but seeing I'm in him in person changed all that. Besides, we had to start somewhere, right? I see, these two are constantly getting mixed up and getting each other's mail. That's what's happening. Way up there? At the church? This is where people have weddings, right? You can get married in this game, by the way. It's called a bonding ceremony. And it's like an actual event with people that you can invite.
Oh, there you are. I assumed you'd got gobbled up by a Goober or something, so I went ahead and shared my success with Rhea myself. Don't get down, though. I'm sure she'd love to hear about my exceptional exploits from you too, Kupo.
This one's so proud and this one's exhausted.
Thank you, friend. I shudder to think of what trouble my brother might have gotten tangled up in if it hadn't been for you, Kupo.
Welcome back. I heard that these two's first assignment was quite the success, and that you played a pivotal role in seeing that it was so. For this, I thank you. Hey, he's back. How's your wings?
I must offer my gratitude as well. Knowing that the two younglings were in capable hands allowed me to focus my mind on the Deputy Postmoogle's treatment, which I've made a considerable progress. At first, the mere thought of an adventurer accompanying me on any assignment annoyed me to no end, but now, I say the more the merrier, Kupo.
And with word of your success spreading throughout the Twelveswood, aspiring delivery Moogles are signing up in droves. Why, the ranks have burgeoned so much that we could assign 2 Moogles to each task if we so choose, and judging by the recent events, that may be very wise. Heartening tidings indeed. I dare say the Deputy Postmoogle may rest and recuperate for as long as he desires. Why, I might even suggest an early retirement.
Retirement? Gods forbid! I'm still a Postmoogle in my prime, Kupo! The mere thought of hanging up my leather sack for good, why, whatever would I derive pleasure in meeting from my meager existence? I was most surely agree, Kupo. The sheer joy of seeing satisfied faces after a job well done to instill me with a newfound energy and enthusiasm. After all my superior's done for me, I could not bear to see him deprived of this most splendid sensation.
Intriguing. Thus far, I have concentrated my efforts on physical remedies, but perhaps lightening the Postmoogle spirits might serve to speed the recovery process. At the very least, it's an avenue worth exploring. You just may be onto something there, dear brother.
So I can resume my duties once I've healed? No more talk of putting me out to pasture, Kupo?
If that's your true desire, how can we deny it of you? I only ask that you take care not to overexert yourself. Makes it sound as if he's gonna be eaten. By the 12, I think I'd ever seen a Moogle who truly lives for his work. And with all the younglings eager to follow in his footsteps, we should be able to manage without imposing on adventurers for a while.
Just leave it to us. My brother and I understand the significance and satisfaction of our job now more than ever. We won't let you down, Kupo. Now that's the spirit, Kupo. And it's all thanks to you, my artful assistant. But no, you have proved to be far more than just a helping hand. You have earned the respect of the young ones, and mine as well. Bren, by the powers vested in me as Deputy Postmoogle, I hereby name you a full-fledged letter carrier. The honor is typically reserved for Moogles, but I'm happy to make an exception in your case, Kupo. While I would love to give you your next assignment, the young ones are in more immediate need of training. But don't let your skills wane, for there's no telling when we will call upon you again, Kupo.
I still get the question mark. You attain level 25. With a successful delivery, your reputation as a letter carrier has grown. In recognition of your efforts, the Deputy Postmoogle has promoted you to the rank of full-fledged letter carrier, though it may be some time before your next assignment. Be ever ready to return to duty should the Moogles require your aid. That's its way of saying there's going to be more in a future expansion, I think. Postal. Alright, that is it. We're good here. Alright, so... let me just double check at Limsa to be sure. Can also see if he says anything. But that may be one more assignment down. Another deadline taken off. Oh, he's like gone. He has disappeared, Kupo. He is nowhere to be seen. Which I think is the point of a Moogle. But I digress. Alright, there we go. We are done with a lot of side quests at this point. Which means I can start getting back into MSQ. I wrote them down as well. Yeah, one more job quest, remaining Moogle quests. These might come up onto YouTube slightly out of order, so take what I say with a grain of salt. I need to finish the 2.4 and 2.5 MSQs. 2.55 might be a long MSQ, but I plan to stream that when I get the chance, possibly the next couple days. But yeah. After that, it's the relic weapons, but I might do relic weapons after my hiatus, just because I don't know if I'll have the time, especially if they're grindy and I only have so many days. So I got the quests that I want to get done, which is good. And that would mean that all remains is MSQ, which I might do several streams, several days in a row to, like, get them done. To really make one big push towards the end, because it could easily be like another 10 hours of MSQ. I thought I was a lot closer to the end than I was, but I might not be. It really depends on the lengths of the quests themselves, which I don't know. Some quests are only like 5 or 10 minutes long, and then other quests are like an hour, so you never know. But with that, this is where I'm going to call it. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined. If you want to see more Final Fantasy XIV and my struggle to make it before the graphics patch, then like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the future. Bye-bye!